Duff and Slash and Matt had played together so much that they always kind of went, kind of surrounded Matt. And I wasn't used to it. So I was kind of like, hey, I felt like a little kid, like, hey, what are you guys playing over there? Like, hey, can you show me that chord?
Hey, what's up? It's Paul from Guitar World, and I am here with Dave Kushner. Now, in case you don't know who Dave is, Dave was in Velvet Revolver. We go back a long way because you had reached out to me, and I was just starting out at Guitar World, and I was like, oh my God, the guitar player in Velvet Revolver is reaching out to me. This is awesome. So here we are now, meeting for the first time since then.
In New York.
In New York. We're here at a Guitar Center event at the Bowery Electric. This is part of your Guitarathon event. Am I correct? But the thing is, what I think most people don't know is that you are now working for Guitar Center. You are the Senior Director of Music Education Experience.
Yes.
So tell me about what you're doing now.
Well, I'm running the lessons program with another guy who's the vice president named John Getty. And we are tasked with giving kids and adults and whoever the opportunity to experience music. Basically, the way I did, the way Slash did. Slash and I took lessons at the same place on Fairfax Avenue in LA. And, we had a teacher, and I walked in and I said, hey, can you show me how to play Purple Haze? And I was 15 but the teachers, I think, really are the ones that kind of, are the gatekeepers almost to that education. And I mean, it's a gift to be able to give that to.
So you're basically in charge of the front line of educating all these kids and people who are interested in really learning how to play guitar or whatever instrument, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have guitar, bass, drums, vocals. There's some DJ lessons at certain places. There's home recording lessons. But the bigger plan is to expand on that. I was a composer after Velvet Revolver, and I didn't know how to do anything. I didn't know any of that language, and I want to be able to, teach that to other band guys that are like, what am I going to do now? And so all these things, and Guitar Center has this amazing infrastructure and this amazing lessons program at pretty much every store, except I think there's 7 stores out of 300 that don't have lessons. But every Guitar Center has a lessons program.
So you have you actually carved out a space within the store to implement this.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we have 3,000 teachers.
Wow.
We have over 35,000 students throughout the country, and we've taught millions of lessons. My kids took lessons at Guitar Center. They took them online during COVID. I took lessons. So it's pretty awesome.
How did you discover this, or how did you say, I need to do this? I want to open this up.
After Velvet Revolver, I did the theme song for Sons of Anarchy, and that was kind of my start into that whole world. But I had done my own masterclass for guitar, intermediate and beginner guitar players, because I went to music school when I was right out of high school. And I just got really interested in teaching that to other people, like teaching guitar, and then wanting to do another one with TV and film composing. And that kind of grew into this role. I happen to be doing that. My wife's best friend is the senior director of visual merchandising at Guitar Center, and she was just talking to me about it, and I was like, I want to do that. I want to work at Guitar Center, because Guitar Center is, I grew up in Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's like, I remember when Guitar Center was on the other side of Sunset, before they moved and built a big store.
But that was very much a home base for a lot of LA musicians, everyone from Slash, George Lynch, you can name them. They were all there.
I was talking to Robert Trujillo the other day, and he's like, because we play still now in Infectious Grooves, and he's like, dude, I remember taking the bus from Venice to, Hollywood to go into Guitar Center. He's like, I remember seeing Randy Rhoads in there before he was in Ozzy's band when he was still in Quiet Riot. He said, I remember seeing Eddie Van Halen in there trying out keyboards because, for the Jump Tour. And as the senior director of music education, I want to also start telling those stories, and also start talking to, peers of mine about why lessons matter, because Trujillo went to Dick Grove School of Music in the Valley. I went to MI.
Yeah.
Slash took lessons from the guy on Fairfax. I was playing the other day with Brooks Wackerman, who Chad Wackerman's brother, plays with Avenged Sevenfold and Infectious Grooves. He's like, dude, there's no way if I didn't know proper technique that I'd be able to last 2.5 hours playing with Avenged Sevenfold. Yeah. So it really is this foundational thing.
Well, I think it's great because I think you're a perfect fit because having you there legitimizes this lessons program because you have so much insight. You've been in the trenches and you have the stories, right?
Yeah. So, I got some stories.
And the funny thing is, we were just talking a little bit before, you were just to say about, being like learning songs, when you were playing with the Velvet Revolver guys, and you were always the guy on the outside trying to, can you tell me a little bit, tell us a little bit about that?
I was saying that, when Velvet Revolver first started, before we found Scott, we were writing songs at a studio in the Valley for 10 months. We would rehearse Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 every day and just write songs and look for singers. Whether it was, hey, I got a guy, or it's, someone else. At one point we got like these mailboxes full of like entries and, we'd look for singers and we'd write songs. But Duff and Slash and Matt had played together so much that they always kind of went, kind of surrounded Matt. And I wasn't used to it. So I was kind of like, hey, I felt like a little kid, like, hey, what are you guys playing over there? Like, hey, can you show me that chord? So, but it was it was an amazing experience. It changed my life,
But here you are. Now you're teaching that chord to everyone else.
That's right.
With this new role. That's fantastic.
I was in Texas on Saturday. There's this little kid named Lane. He came into this Denton, Texas program. He was 5 years old. He had physical, troubles when he was born and stuff. 5 years old, nonverbal, came in, started playing guitar. Then he started communicating, and the only thing he would say to the instructor was he would go like this, right? Go like this. And then he started talking, and then they found out that the Guitar Center lessons program was the one place he felt comfortable because no one picked on him. Because he was tiny. When he was born, he was like the size of my hand.
Wow.
Tiny little guy, picked on at school, but he had that, that program to feel safe. Now he's this 9-year-old incredible guitar player. So I went out to this showcase in Texas and I looked at the playlist and they were playing Slither. Him and his dad. His dad takes lessons too. Plays drums so he could play with him. And so I met the kid and he was like bouncing up and down. He's like, oh my God. He's like hugging me. And I'm like, hey man, how you doing? I say, hey, can I play Slither with you? And he's like, oh my God. And he's like jumping up and down. But it was great. And it's like, I have a Grammy. I can look at that, but it doesn't give me the same feeling that I get when I'm, talking to this kid and hearing his story and playing with him and seeing how awesome he plays. And it's like, I've been lucky enough to have both, you know what I mean? And so now it's great to be able to do that with this program.
This program is cultivating the next generation of musicians. And you're spearheading that. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Yes, right. Well, I am not going to waste any more time because Dave needs to find more musicians out there to get into that lessons program. So there you have it. Dave Kushner from Velvet Revolver and now Senior Director of Music Education Experience for Guitar Center. I am excited to see what you do.
Thanks, man. It's good talking to you. Thanks for having me.